This video is brought to you by Greenman Gaming. Click the link below. What the fuck? No, I'm sorry, please, I know, please, I'm sponsored by them, I'm partners with them, please, I'm sorry. I've just finished the Doom the Dark Ages DLC, which is probably insane to hear considering the fact, as of the time I'm recording this, it released like 5 hours ago, and I just played the shit out of it because I don't know if you guys knew this, but I'm kind of a Doom fan. You know, I have the Collector's Edition for Doom Eternal and the Dark Ages. I love the reboot Doom trilogy. It is so good, and the Dark Ages, incredible game. I think it's better than 2016, but not as good as Doom Eternal. Doom Eternal holds a special place in my heart. But what the Dark Ages does better than Doom Eternal is the DLC, because I mean, Revelations, I'm just gonna be straight up with you guys, it is awesome. It is amazing. And I know that's a bit unfair because Doom Eternal's DLCs were developed during COVID, you know, it can't be helped. And you can kind of tell, especially in part 2 with how kind of whatever it was. But Revelations was just, well, it came out over a year after the game released. So a lot of time and care has been put into this. Before I talk about what I liked about it, there's something that needs to be addressed here, and that is the fact that Microsoft have laid off like half of id Software's staff, or around that much. It doesn't matter how much, it is a stupid amount, and a lot of the people they've laid off were people who were integral to the Doom trilogy. So before I talk about this game and talk about my thoughts and feelings, I just want to give a huge thank you to the people who were unfortunately laid off. You guys are incredibly talented. I adore your work, and good luck to you all, and I'm so sorry that this happened, but it just goes to show what the industry's like now. It's just not good at all. But I wanted to address that because that's the elephant in the room really when it comes to talking about the Doom DLC. Probably the layoffs literally happened just before they released this DLC, which is crazy. But yeah, back to the DLC itself. I'm not going to be spoiling anything, or at least not spoiling too much. You're going to see some of the levels in the game, but there are only 4 levels. Don't let that put you off though. Don't let that put you off, because these levels are the Blood Swamps tiers of levels. If you don't know what I mean, Blood Swamps was pretty original for Doom Eternal. It had branching paths. It was like incredibly long. It was the longest level in the entire DLC, and it's one of my favorites in all of Doom Eternal. So when I say each level in the DLC for Revelations is just 4 blood swamps, that is a huge compliment. And yeah, these levels are absolutely insane. They are huge, and there's so much verticality, so many secrets to find. There are different areas and branching paths that you can't actually interact with until you've beaten the game, which isn't a spoiler by the way. You learn this pretty quick when you get in. You go to this purple door and it says master key needed, end game item. So it's basically like, go beat the game, fuck off, go beat the game. And a little spoiler, I have beaten the game and I've done some of this end game shit, and it's basically doubled the content. Like it's insane the amount that this DLC has to offer, especially for the price. Like I was expecting this to be like £30, like $29.99 or $25.99, but no, $17.99. That's really good actually. But obviously, I know why you're all here. You want to know about the spear, and yeah, the spear is really cool. I prefer the spear over the shield. My only gripe with the spear was you had to bind the keys yourself, which I don't know if that was intentional or they just kind of didn't really have time to sort that out considering, you know, the layoffs. But I found it a bit strange. I managed to get a comfortable layout for myself, and yeah, from there, the spear is just, it changes the game completely. It makes it play more like Eternal, which is kind of a bit like, it feels like they were kind of backpedaling a bit from the complaints of the main game, from people being like, oh, this isn't Doom Eternal, so this sucks. I do think they should have stood their ground a bit, but my god, it is so much fun. The spear has like a grapple move with like a meat hook, which is straight out of Doom Eternal. I actually think that this spear was probably just slapped onto the bottom of the super shotgun in somewhere in the lore, and that explains why it works the exact same as the meat hook. You can even upgrade it later to have like a fire version, like when you upgrade the super shotgun in Eternal, and it's just a game changer. Instead of using the shield bash to get up close and personal to enemies, you use that chain, which has a lot of control. You can use that to adjust your momentum in the air, move around the arena more frequently, which is something you're gonna want to be doing because the enemies introduced in this DLC, they're nasty, they're aggressive. One of them being the Archvile. Why did they bring back the Archvile? Because they fucking hate us. The Archvile in this game is disgusting. He is a monster and I hate him. I hate every single ounce of his, just everything about him. Fuck the Archvile. Whenever he appears, he is my first go-to for killing. Fuck that guy. Weirdly enough as well, I found the story of this really interesting too, with random sections at the end of each level kind of going back in time, and it's kind of showing what I assume is an origin for the Doomslayer. They're kind of vague, you know, it does a lot of showing, not telling, you know, it keeps it kind of up in the air a bit, but they're really interesting. I really like how it plays like an old Doom game with the centered gun and just going around and you're absolutely demolishing humans. I think they're human beings, but they die in like one shot to the shotgun. It's actually quite brutal. Oh, and the small spoiler here, I'm very sorry, but in the end game, there are entire old school Doom levels with this gameplay, and when you beat them all, you get the original shotgun. And it's like a super weapon, acting like a BFG type thing. It's just really cool. I really like this. I also really like how it loops back around to Doom 2016, which you're gonna have to play the DLC for yourself. I'm not gonna spoil too much, but if you've looked at the achievements, you already know what happens. It's just awesome, man. I really enjoy it. Another thing I really like is, whilst there are 4 different levels, there's also this like hub area called Purgatory, which is basically a level in on itself. There's secrets, there's small combat encounters, and enemies randomly appear, and like random puzzles you can solve to get collectibles, upgrades, all of that stuff. And they're really interesting. Usually I'm not a puzzle guy, but there's something about the Doom the Dark Ages puzzles where you use like the shield and this time the spear to like move objects around and do a bunch of random shit to get like up a ledge or something simple like that. It's just fun. I find it engaging. One of the puzzles I really like in Purgatory is this like teleporter with different runes that you can change, and you need to go around the map and look at like rune combinations that allows you to teleport to inaccessible areas to get like different currency, different collectibles, all that stuff. I just really like it. I had a really good time with this DLC, genuinely. I really enjoyed it. It really sucks what happened at id Software, and I'm very concerned about the future of the company. It's one of my favorite companies out there. Microsoft have already killed Tango Gameworks. Luckily they were bought out by Krafton. I say luckily, Krafton aren't exactly the best publishers ever. But yeah, just praying for id Software. I'm wishing everyone who was laid off the best. You guys made an incredible DLC. I had an absolute blast. I really enjoyed playing for it, and I highly recommend it to anyone watching this if you want more Doom. It is just quality content all around. I didn't run into many bugs either, so if you're looking for a good bug-free first-person shooter experience, you can't go wrong with Doom the Dark Ages Revelations. Thank you all so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this like laid-back review type video. I beat the DLC, and as soon as I finished, I was like, I want to talk about my thoughts on this. I want to let everyone know that this shit is so good. And probably after I'm done making this video, I'm going to go straight back in and do cleanup and 100% it. And I'm very excited to do so. So thank you all so much for watching. Make sure to check out Green Man Gaming. They're an incredible storefront. Their summer sale is still going on. You could probably get Doom the Dark Ages for yourself for a pretty good price, and considering the DLC itself is already like a pretty good price, you know, you can just buy them both. Got a good ass experience just waiting for you. So click the link below if you want to do that. Hopefully I don't get attacked this time. And with that, I want to thank my Patreon supporters. Thank you guys so much for supporting me. You will always be the best. The same goes to my channel members. I really appreciate your ongoing support. I don't know if I can't thank you guys enough, genuinely. And with that, I will see you all in the next video.